Well, welcome to the 7 o'clock talk, and we are live. And tonight we're going to discuss the bioidentical hormones again because we've had a lot of questions about the bioidentical hormones, and that has been a topic that we see over and over again, isn't it? And so, sorry, she's not 100%. If you know Jessica, she is a marketplace fiend, and she is making up our yard to be beautiful with all of her marketplace finds. But she is the resident, passionate expert on hormones. And so you've heard us talk about hormones before. And Jess, let's start off by talking about your experience with hormones.
My personal experience,
Yeah,
meaning myself.
yourself and what you've seen, how they've affected you.
Well, I think hormones are the most important thing, but for a lot of people, it's the main problem. But it affects energy, mood, it affects pain in your joints, it affects your bone health, it affects intimacy, relationships, it affects your thyroid, your adrenals,
It
it affects
affects
everything.
it affects your mitochondria. So
And it's,
hormone. Go ahead. Sorry.
well, and we don't monitor it. We monitor breast health, we monitor prostate health, we monitor bone health, we measure everything, but nobody seems to monitor hormones.
Which causes a lot of that. So we're actually talking about hormone replacement therapy (HRT), and the issue with HRT is a lot of medical doctors don't like HRT because of the Women's Health Initiative. And let me see if I can pull that up real quick and see when that study was done. Women's Health Initiative. So the Women's Health Initiative was done. Let's see when this study was started. It was a landmark study in 1992. So women were getting hormone replacement therapy. I remember my mom was on Premarin. And what they found was women that were taking the hormones, and this is Premarin and the exogenous hormones, not bioidentical, they had a higher incidence of breast cancer. So a lot of doctors have shied away from using hormone replacement or bioidentical hormones because of that. And now we're talking about this. We don't actually do bioidentical hormones in the clinic. We work with another practitioner that is her love and her passion. She absolutely loves it. So she does all of our bioidentical hormones for our patients. We refer patients down to her, and she does the bioidentical hormone replacement. But the Women's Health Initiative in 92, when that study was concluded and came back, it said that hormone replacement causes breast cancer. Okay, so medical doctors don't like the C word, and they all said, hey, well, nobody likes the C word. So everybody was like, hey, we're going to quit this because this is killing women, and we all love our wives and moms and daughters.
Did you tell them what the difference is?
Now I'm getting ready to. So what they haven't done is done a reboot on this study looking at bioidentical hormones. And where do the bioidenticals come from? I'll let you talk about this
So
portion.
they're made from plants. So they're phytoestrogens, and I think those ones come from red rice.
Yams.
One of them comes from yams. One of them comes from rice, or something rhubarb or something like that. But they come from plants. And you can affect your hormones by what you eat if you eat those things.
And so when you have the bioidentical hormones or those types of hormones, the studies coming back on those are positive because women aren't getting osteoporosis, their brain health is returning, their sex drive is returning. For guys, it helps us with our testosterone. So the studies on this are, well, they're being done, but they haven't been done to the tune of that Women's Health Initiative. They've just been done to the tune of a lot of people are interested in this, and we know that women do better on the hormones. I mean, I'll admit that when her hormones were off, and then she started getting them, mood changes, temper changes.
Pain, like the pain was the immediate, like joint pain, the achiness that I can't stand up straight. I have to warm myself up before I can make it to the kitchen. That was like immediately gone.
And then
Headaches were gone.
yeah, different person, just totally. And that's because hormones affect the mitochondria. Mitochondria affect energy. And there's a big argument when you go through, if you go through the certification at the IFM, the hormone guys say they're king of the hill, and the mitochondria guys say they're king of the hill because the mitochondria actually help make the hormones. But the hormones sense the environment and tell the mitochondria what's going on. So it's the chicken and egg argument. Regardless, when you're doing functional medicine, that rising tide lifts all the boats. And so what we've seen with Jessica as we've been treating her Lyme and we've been treating what's been going on with her is her natural hormones after she got them supplemented and she was doing great. Then she started to make them on her own. So things started to get a little high. So this is where I have the caveat with people that, yeah, and Jessica said from the beginning, we really need to monitor these people monthly and make sure that everything is going the way that it should. And I was like, okay, how? And so she implemented the system on monitoring people that are getting the exogenous hormones so that we know that everything stays in balance. I strongly recommend making sure that you are addressing your adrenal glands, balancing the microbiome, and making sure that your organic acids, your detox systems, and stuff like that are in check. Because the way that your body eliminates excess estrogen is by binding it with fiber and eliminating it. So if you do these things, make sure that you're also affecting how your body cleans this out.
Why is that important? Because if you don't eliminate the extra estrogen, you keep it, and that actually puts you at risk for some cancers.
Yes.
And feeds certain things. It
But
also, if it increases, you'll lose your libido, your sex drive. You'll start losing your hair. You'll grow hair in places you don't want it to be.
So it's about
It's
balance.
important.
Yeah, it's about balance, and that's why you need to be eliminating going to the bathroom. You need to be pooping at least once, but twice a day. And you need to make sure that you're getting 40 grams of fiber, the stuff that we talk about all the time. But as far as my thoughts on hormones, I love them. We use DHEA, we use pregnenolone, we use progesterone in the clinic on patients, and it is absolutely to help the patients just feel better, look better. When the hormones are kicking in and the micronutrients are going, hair grows back, comes back darker, and patients just feel good. And so I hope that answers your question on bioidentical hormones. Yes, they're safe. Yes, they're natural. And right now, the studies do not show that bioidentical hormones increase your chances of cancer, especially if you're eliminating. people who were eliminating in the Women's Health Initiative still had increased incidences of cancer. And where does Premarin come from? It comes from pregnant mare's urine. And that's what they were giving, and that just did bad things in the women's bodies.
Well, and most people can take testosterone, and your testosterone pellets will actually, if your body's working right, testosterone will break down and supply estrogen.
Yes.
And before I did do estrogen one time, and I did ask my OBGYN, and as I didn't currently have cancer, and if it makes you feel good, try it. That's what he told me.
Yep.
I don't need I don't need that anymore because I'm actually came back online with what we provide for ourselves. But you just need to monitor it because your body can start working again in supplying the needs if you're eating right, you have enough cholesterol to make it, and you work on it.
Yep. So if that answers the questions, great. If it doesn't, post them in here. I'll get notification that there are questions, and we will be happy to help you live your best life. If you want to come in and do the functional medicine testing, once again, we do test the adrenal glands. We test the microbiome and the gut and how everything is functioning there. And we test the organic acids to make sure that we're not dealing with yeast, to make sure we're not dealing with some form of organic acid imbalance. So there are a number of things that can do that. It's looking at the exhaust. And is everything in balance?
And don't accept whether you're male or female that you're just at that age and this is just what happens, because nobody should suffer. Nobody should be at risk for bone degeneration. It can be linked to dementia, and you should be living your best life with yourself and or your partner until the end of your days. So, and you can do something about it.
So Kathy, you had a question. Hawthorn extract, absolutely. There's stuff from Designs and from Metagenics for that. I have to do a little research. I will get back to you tomorrow on that, and I will let you know first thing in the morning what I find out. So we appreciate you all being here. Have a wonderful night. Say a prayer for Jess. She's feeling under the weather.
I'm suffering.
She worked all day yesterday. We had 60 some odd patient visits, something like that.
Yep.
And she wore her mask and just was, and then came in today and started another functional medicine patient, took them through the steps of how to do the tests and everything else. So my A player is suffering. Thank you very much. We love you. You guys be healthy and be safe, and we'll see you next time.